Hello everyone, it's the Beansman here, and tonight I'm going to talk to or discuss about the impersonations that I did at school, mostly mainly teachers. My friend Dan Griffiths got me to do this video, so that's how it goes. From September 2002 to July 2009, I was a student at Sayo School, which later became a trust school. By the time I was there, the head teacher we had was Mr. Ridley. When I knew him, he was a kind person. He organised the school discos at lunchtimes, as well as the school trips from cinema to the fun fair, if any students were good. Whenever we made good progress on our work and behaviour, he would often say, "Fantastic, fantastic." But if there's one thing he couldn't be doing with, it was when the students misbehave. He would often bellow at the students. He would say things like, "How dare you?" and "Get your hands in your pockets." In the one assembly he did regarding misbehaving students, he was saying to one of them, "You remind me of a being powder criminal." Now, luckily, I never got bellowed at by Mr. Ridley because I was always well behaved at school. However, that doesn't mean I didn't get told off by any of the teachers. When I was in year 10, we had Miss Gilroy as a form teacher in her class. In fact, she was a form teacher from year 8 to 11. I was running late for an Aston lesson because I was giving Tracy Mira her birthday card, as it was her birthday that day. When I finally arrived in the classroom, she wasn't very happy with me. She asked me, "Why are you so late?" I told her I was giving Tracy her card. She then said something along the lines of, "You have no right to doing that in my lesson." I don't know what she said exactly. I then apologised to her, and she gave me 15 minutes of detention the next day. After that, she told me, "The next time before you're doing the errands, let me know first." Back to the subject of assemblies, there was another person who often did them. Her name was Mrs. Drain, and I think she was a deputy head. Types of assemblies that she did would either be giving out certificates or discussing traditions or special days. For example, she would say something like, "Now, in today's assembly, we will be talking about today's subject, which is Easter and the story behind it." Now, there were a few of the impersonations that I can remember doing of the teachers. There was Debbie Shashi Thomas, or Deb's recorder, who often said, "Fandabidozy," and "Right, chaps," whenever we were in camping or doing expedition training. We went on a trip to Westminster to study about the Parliament. I was eating a sausage sandwich on the train, which I didn't really feel hungry for. Tracy, who came with us on the trip, said to me, "Go on, treat yourself, Ad." We had an IT teacher named Miss Wiltshire, who once yelled at a student, "You're on the wrong programme." A teacher named Miss Croak often greeted us with, "Hello, you," as we were waiting for her for one of the lessons, whether it was RE or Humanities. One thing I do remember about Dan Griffiths, who was a classmate of mine, is that on every registration time, he would often do scenarios of wrestlers on WWE. He often mentions The Rock, Randy Orton, Triple H, and many others. He used to do an impersonation of Paul Bearer, who was a wrestling manager for WWE. He used to say, "Oh yeah." It was actually, "Oh yes." But it was close enough. I remember a story that involved Mr. Lenton, who was a woodwork teacher, as well as the head of years 10, 11, and eventually sixth form. When I knew him, he was very strict towards us. He would often get sarcastic at times. He was doing an assembly for years 10, 11 in his school hall. Earlier that day, he spotted a student not crossing the road safely on the way to school. He decided to mention it in assembly. He asked this question: "Where do we cross the road?" A lad named Scott answered, In the middle of the street." Mr. Lenton went, "In the middle of the street. Typical." Well, we all know that you're supposed to cross the road on the pavement. Mr. Lenton was like, "You don't have to be an Einstein to know that." Before he eventually called out a student who wasn't very safe. I couldn't quite remember every single impersonation that I did of the teachers, as it was a very long time ago. I just hope it was very entertaining regardless. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and till next time, beans out.